Yo, what's going on? Your favorite sports show is back for another one. I'm live in my guest room in Syracuse, New York, ready to talk some NBA playoffs, ready to talk some NHL playoffs, and ready to talk some NBA draft. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow on Instagram and my Twitter. Those will be in the description. Please join the journey. And drop a like, drop some comments, drop what you think, and let's get into it. There's so many great sports to watch. It feels like every night I'm doing something, whether it's watching the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, or even watching the NBA draft lottery, which went on last Thursday, I believe, which was I caught the end of it. I caught the very end of it because I had no idea it was going on with everything that's unraveling in sports, but I caught the end of it, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the NBA draft later this show, but man, we got a lot of topics to get through, and we're going to be kind of going a little speed round topics because there's so much stuff to cover, and there's so much stuff I'm actually leaving out that I had to cut. So that's when you know it's a good day, is when you have to cut some topics. But let's get started with my man, my king, Luka Doncic. The Dallas Mavericks have been struggling in the Western Conference Finals, much like I thought they would. Golden State is a much more complete team, and they've been showing that. Golden State leads the series 3-0, and last night, while the day I'm recording this, the previous night, well, the Golden State Warriors really showed out, played some astounding defense, and really, besides Luka, were able to contain the Mavericks. They won 109-100, very low scoring game, but Golden State's been controlling the series, and that leads me to think, are the Mavericks championship dreams defeated? To answer that question, I'm going to say yes. 100% the Dallas Mavericks championship dreams are defeated, and I'm not even sure that the Mavericks are going to be in the championship anytime soon. You look into next year, Dallas still with, they're obviously not going to have a great draft pick. I just think that they don't have role players to surround Luka with. And while teams like the Clippers are getting healthy, the Lakers, who knows what's going on with LeBron James, the Phoenix Suns, I think will be back in contention. Golden State, of course. Memphis, very young team, very hot. And then Minnesota, a very young team with Ant-Man and Karl Anthony Towns. They easily can be contending for the Western Conference next year. Utah, on the other hand, you already know my thoughts on Utah. Go blow that up. But Dallas really needs to, after this year, because I truly think that they'll potentially win Game 4, but they'll lose Game 5. But they need to go out and get Luka Doncic a supporting cast. Nobody can win by themselves. Not even LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. There were still some role players on that team. Kyrie hit that game winner over Golden State. He played a very big role. Kevin Love played a very big role. So nobody can go out and win by themselves. And we're really seeing this with Luka. Game 3, he put up 40 points. 40 points. A plus minus of -19, but he put up 40 points. You're probably wondering who else scored if Luka had -19 with a 40-point total. Well, Jalen Brunson had 20. Jalen Brunson's been good. I've liked him in the playoffs so far. He's fine to keep. Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench. He's very good too. He had a plus minus of +2, 26 points on the day. No complaints from him. He's a little wishy-washy. He can be a little more consistent, but I really don't have any complaints for him. Where I am complaining is Reggie Bullock, 0 for 10 in 40 minutes. Max Kleber, who I'll admit, Max Kleber is a good player when he's hitting threes. 0 for 5 in field goals, and all of those were 3-point shots. A plus minus of -12. Dorian Finney-Smith played 42 minutes, only got 9 points. Luka can't go out there and win by himself. he kind of did that. He carried the team. When I say carry, I don't mean that he is the only man scoring, because that's not possible. But still, Luka went out there and he carried the Mavericks over the Suns. I'll say that. The second half of the Jazz series was when Luka started getting going. I remember game 1, 2, he was out. Game 3, they lost, I think. It was his first game back. Game 4, he kind of got into the swing of things, you know. But Luka carried in the Suns series, and he's trying to carry in this series, but he just can't, because he doesn't have a supporting cast around him that's consistent and is able to win games. I mean, when is this going to be a wake-up call for Dallas? You know, they brought in Porzingis. That didn't work out. I think after this year, the management needs to take a sec and look at how he can help Luka out and get him some role players, because this isn't really working out. Even game 2, if you say, oh, you only took a box score of one game. Game 2, Luka scored 42 points, 2 more points than game 3. Brunson had a great game, 31. I like Jalen Brunson, but who else scored? Reggie Bullock got 21. Okay. Finney Smith got 10 in 42 minutes. Come on. Maxi Kleber got 3 in 33 minutes. And Spencer Dinwiddie got 4 in 22 minutes. The inconsistency I was talking about. Mavericks need to go out. They need to get Luka some better role players or find a way, because I think their championship window is quickly closing unless they can figure something out in the offseason. But hey, that's totally up to them. A team that they could possibly end up like, Los Angeles Lakers, which is a pretty good transition. I'll have to pat myself on the back for that one, because the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, in sunny LA, they're going to be in the news. Sunny LA, LeBron, they're going to be in the news pretty often. And recently they've been in it with Juwan Howard. Now, Juwan Howard, the Michigan men's basketball coach, he actually declined the Los Angeles Lakers' interest. They reached out to him. He said, I will not like to go through with the interview process. I don't want that position. Great choice by him. I have no problems at all with him not wanting to go to the Lakers position, mostly because he had a good tournament run with the Wolverines, and he actually has 2 sons who are coming to play for Michigan, so it would obviously make no sense. Juwan's been a guy to get NBA interest, but I don't see it. I don't see him really going into the NBA unless there's some type of downfall in Michigan, because it seems like his place to stay. But he declined this Los Angeles Lakers job. And since then, the Los Angeles Lakers have finalists for the coaching position, being Milwaukee Bucks assistant Darvin Ham, Golden State Warriors assistant Kenny Atkinson, and former Portland Trail Blazers coach Terry Stotts. Now, I think, I'll say this. I'll start with this. I think whoever takes this Lakers job is asking for the worst job in their life. Whoever wants to take this Lakers job, that's a death sentence in your career. You have to go in there and you have to coach LeBron. I don't have any problems with I don't have any problems with LeBron as a player. I think he's coachable. He kind of tries to control a team. I get that. He's one of the best players to ever play. So that's not really the big point. I think you go win with a team as a centerpiece of LeBron, and you surround him with good players, you can win. But they also have to take care of Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, all the expiring contracts like Malik Monk and all the young guys around him who they're not going to be able to afford. Yeah. Russell Westbrook has a player option. He better take that, because he is so bad that he's not going to get a better option. Listen, I have so much problems with the Lakers, but whoever takes this job has to know what they're getting into. I don't think any of these three coaches actually will fit with the Lakers. I think the Lakers need a coach who can control Russell Westbrook, can control these guys with big egos. And I don't see any of these guys working. I think Kenny Atkinson had a job with the Brooklyn Nets as the head coach. That didn't work out. And I'm pretty sure he was the coach. He coached, maybe not, but he was not successful as a coach. I don't know why they think he'd be successful as a coach now. And then lastly, Terry Stotts. Come on, man. Like, Terry Stotts is like Quinn Snyder before. He's like the first Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder is Terry Stotts 2.0. Stotts didn't get anything done with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, and he had no clue how to solve that center position that they couldn't even touch. Terry Stotts coming into the Lakers position, he's obviously probably desperate for it because he thinks, oh, maybe if LeBron can win, he could do the Tyronn Lue, and Tyronn Lue got a job from LA, awful outside LeBron, got a job with the Clippers. I'm not saying he's awful now, but still, that's kind of what built him to get that job, was that championship. So if Terry Stotts he's trying to grab onto anything. He's grabbing onto LeBron. But I think if he's the coach, it's going to be a big fail. I don't think he's a good coach by any means. And, I mean, what I see with these three finalists for the Los Angeles Lakers is more losses and two unsuccessful coaches and a very young coach. I don't know if Darvin Ham's actually young in age, but a very young coach who never really had a head coaching position. Yeah, there is not success. I don't see any success with the Los Angeles Lakers anytime soon. I mean, let's be real. Frank Vogel is better than all those coaches as finalists. That's all I'm going to have to say. Good luck. Whoever gets that position, good luck with LeBron. Good luck with AD. Good luck with Russell Westbrook. We'll see how that goes. Like I said earlier in the show, the NBA draft lottery was actually last Thursday. I caught the last seconds of it because I had no idea what was going on. I think I was watching some NHL playoffs, and I saw a tweet about the NBA draft lottery, turned it on, and it got to the final three picks. And the order went like this. It went with number 3 is the Houston Rockets. Number 2 is the Oklahoma State Thunder. Number 1, the biggest magic trick of them all, is the Orlando Magic stealing that number 1 pick. Yes, Orlando took the number 1 pick over Houston, OKC, and really the biggest slump was the Detroit Pistons going to 5. Got to feel bad for the Pistons fans. But the NBA draft has 3 great prospects, 3 prospects really leading it, being Chet Holmgren, Gonzaga forward, 7 foot, the lanky legend of Gonzaga, who is supposed to be, I'd probably say he was supposed to be the number 1 pick prior to this NCAA season. I'll tell you why he's not soon. But Paolo Banchero, however you pronounce it, I can care less because he's a Duke Blue Devil. The freshman from Duke, 6'10", supposed to be that freshman phenom. I saw a little inconsistency. I'll get into that a little later. And then finally, rounding out, Jabari Smith, the Auburn forward, 6'10", 220, a great shooter, and he was a great college basketball player. To begin the season, it kind of went Holmgren, Banchero, Smith. Now I kind of feel like it's going Smith, Holmgren, Banchero 1, Banchero, Holmgren, Smith 2, and Holmgren, Banchero, Smith 3. I don't know. It's like I see so many different articles with, Jabari Smith is going to be the number 1 prospect. Or Chet Holmgren, you have to pick Chet. number one, or Paolo is going to go number one to the Orlando Magic. I've seen a ton of different stuff, and when I come on here, everything I say is going to end up right. So this is the official mock draft of Matt Kane's, the first edition, because everything changes, but the first edition of his mock draft, and I will start down with number 3. Actually, I'll start with 1. Why would I want to start with 3? I'll start with 1 so everything makes sense going down, because number 3 is kind of like the odd man out. So I'll start with 1. All right, number 1. The Orlando Magic, with the first pick, are going to select Jabari Smith. Now, the reason why I like Jabari Smith over Banchero and Holmgren is because Jabari Smith, sure, he's a 6'10 forward, but that man can shoot threes, and he can shoot threes better than Holmgren and Banchero. Now, Orlando, that makes sense with them because of how poorly they shot from the three-point field last year. I'm pretty sure they were shooting around 33%, ranked 28th in the NBA in that regular season. And they have guys like Gary Harris and Mo Bamba who can shoot the threes, probably the best on their team heading into free agency. I feel like this makes sense for them because of that. Jabari Smith showed that he can shoot from the outside, and showed that he can shoot from the three-point field. He actually went 42% of his three-pointers in his freshman year at Auburn and averaged 16.9 points a game. I don't think they go for Chet because they have Wendell Carter there, who they just acquired from the Bulls not too long ago. And I don't think they go Paolo here because I think they're gonna want a shooter. I mean, they're both power forwards, but with Jabari shooting, I think it makes more sense for Orlando. So I had Jabari going first. Now, second, OKC Thunder. I think they go with Chet. I think they go with a unicorn because of a couple things. First of all, they're gonna need a center on their team, and they're what the OKC Thunder and what we've noticed that they've been doing is building for the future. Sam Presti got all those picks because he's fully in rebuild mode and building towards the future. Chet's a unicorn. Chet's going to take some time. I would not expect Chet, the lanky legend, to go out there and play as great as he thinks he can play. That's for sure. And as great as everyone thinks he's going to play at his peak in the NBA. I don't expect him to go out there day one and get that done. Chet's a project, and the only team I think would actually take this project up is the OKC Thunder. They're known to, they're known to rebuild, and they're known to take up projects. I think Chet's a big project, but if you succeed with this project, he could be one great basketball player because of his defense, his obviously his wingspan, but his defense, he can shoot the three, he could drive. I think he's your kind of do-it-all player, but he doesn't have an NBA body, and he needs to build up in order to play consistent basketball. So I think Chet the project, the lanky legend, is going to go second to the Thunder. Finally, rounding out number 3, I think Banchero is going to be the third pick with Houston. Not much to this. These guys are the top consensus 3 players, and with both of them off the board, of course, the last one goes to Chet. Congrats, man. You're going to be a Houston Rocket. Houston's got Jalen Green. You could pair him up with Jalen Green. I think that would be well. But out of these 3 guys, I think Banchero is the most NBA ready. I don't think he has the lowest ceiling, in my opinion, but he's the most NBA ready. I think he could go right in and be a solid guy, and potentially I'd have him probably Rookie of the Year odds at the top, with Smith behind him and then Chet third. But Banchero is going to be a great player regardless. With all these 3 guys, I truly think you're going to get at least a decent player, decent to good player, depending on how you do developing him, especially with Chet. But I'm excited to see the NBA draft. I think there's a lot of great players. Jaden Ivey, AJ Griffin, Ochai. I love Ochai. And yeah, my guy from Arizona, Ben Mathurin, he's going to be in this draft, and we'll have to see. 76ers don't have a first-round pick. Kind of upset about that, but it is what it is. They're going to draft Buddy Boeheim in the second round. You heard it here first. Shout out Syracuse. Shout out 315. Heading into quick topic, the NHL playoffs are in the second round. Hyping up to get into the third round pretty soon. But a team that has played incredible in the last, not even this postseason, last 3 years, is the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now the Lightning lead the series 3-0 currently. As I sit here Monday, May 23rd at 3 p.m., Tampa Bay Lightning are leading the series 3-0. However, the Lightning and the Panthers play tonight on Monday night on TNT, 7 p.m. I hope you watched it. I'm going to be watching it for sure. So, I don't have an updated series for you guys, but Tampa Bay leads 3-0 currently as I sit here. Tampa has won the last two NHL playoffs. They're looking to get their three-peat, and it's looking like they possibly could. Tampa has, first of all, let's talk about Florida. Florida comes out here, plays Tampa, who they honestly controlled throughout the whole season. They're division rivals. They controlled through the whole season. They come out here in their first 3 games and put up a total of 3 goals. 1 goal in each game. Come on, man. Come on, Florida. Florida is supposed to be one of this best team. It's their best team in franchise history. Their record is, I'm pretty sure it's a top 10 best in the NHL history. Maybe not top 10. Okay, maybe not top 10. But they're one of the best in the NHL history in the last 5 years, probably. They come out here as the best team. They won the President's Trophy and everything. They come out here and score 1 goal a game against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who they controlled. I get it. Tampa Bay is this big, mean bully with Andrei Vasilevsky in the goaltending spot and Steven Stamkos, the captain of the Bullies. But come on. You had Jonathan Huberdeau. You get Claude Giroux. Sergei Bobrovsky has proven that he could at least win in the playoffs. And you have Sasha Barkov. You have a plethora of players, and you score 1 goal a game. Listen, this is going to kill them, honestly, because they're playing 2 games in a row. Tampa has all the momentum. It's in Tampa Bay. And honestly, I think Tampa sweeps tonight. But we'll see. We'll see if I was right or wrong with that one. But, man, Tampa Bay, listen, Carolina, New York, the Storm's coming. The Lightning are coming. And I think Tampa Bay has a pretty good... I honestly, Tampa coming out of this one, I think Tampa is probably going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Depending on the health of Braden Point and if he's 100% going into next series, he's a key player for them. But still, Tampa's got the Tom Brady freaking effect is probably in play here. But Tampa's on a roll. They've been on a roll for 2 years. I think they're going to win I'll say they win the East, and they'll probably go up against, I hope, the Colorado Avalanche. That series kind of opened up with Jordan Binnington's injury, but I think the Colorado Avalanche move on to the Western Conference Finals. They're probably going to play either... Man, I'd say they probably play the Flames, but the Oilers actually won last night. So they're going to be either playing the Flames or the Oilers. I think they'll win that game. I'm pretty confident in Colorado. So Colorado, Tampa Bay in the finals. That'll be a great matchup. Will I say Tampa Bay? Will I believe the hype that Tampa Bay is going to three-peat? I'll believe it. I'll believe Tampa Bay can three-peat because... I don't know. John Cooper must be feeding the Lightning some Wheaties or something, some off-brand Wheaties that makes you a champion. Some champion Wheaties they got from Tom Brady's closet or something. The Lightning are insane. They're insane, and if they get the sweep off tonight, the Storm's brewing. The Storm is brewing in the East. The Tampa Bay Lightning are on a roll. Colorado is the only one to save it. Colorado. If Colorado doesn't make it to the finals, I think Tampa Bay is gonna three-peat. Man, aren't you sick of Tampa? And I have Tampa Bay winning the NFL playoffs next year, winning the Super Bowl. I don't know what it is. I seriously don't. Everyone says it's a Tom Brady effect. The city of champions moved from Boston to Tampa Bay just like that with Brady going. I don't know. I don't really believe that stuff, but I need to get a scientist on this show to explain to me how the Tampa Bay Lightning are so dang good and the Tampa Bay Rays have been so good making it to the World Series and how the Buccaneers are so freaking good. It must be the water in Tampa Bay. That's the only thing I could think of. Well, another great show here. We'll have to see what goes on. I'm sure I'm going to have another show at the end of this week, maybe into the weekend, with some NBA playoffs. Probably have NBA championship getting ready and rolling. NHL playoff update. Some NFL, I'm sure. Find a way for that. But make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like the video. Comment what you think on these couple topics that I went through. And make sure you follow the Instagram. We'll be posting Instagram reels that have been very successful thanks to you guys. And yeah, follow my Twitter and keep up with Kane's Corner. See you next time.